Yes, it makes sense.
Prophet?
Blazes, it's dark already? Time really does fly by.
Yes. Prophet. Yes. Why do you ask? They did. What are you getting at? Then do me a favor and spare me the pleasantries. We have no time for small talk. The same I thought before. They are our enemies, and they want to destroy us. I do not care about their motives, even though I have to admit that knowing their true nature is a disquieting thought. An entity created from the collective consciousness of a civilization. Something like that should not be allowed to exist. You know, I know Natara better than you might believe, and I know the reason for her untouchable demeanor. Fear. She's afraid of losing something important to her, something that she helped to create, and that is the Order. You probably do not know this, but unlike most keepers, Natara was not born of the sublime path. Even more than us, she had to fight for her place here. And through immense willpower and discipline, she made it. Not only to become an ordinary keeper, but into the highest league. Correct. It is all she has ever lived for, and she's afraid that change will destroy it. Your admission into our ranks, our truce with Narazul's mages. She believes that my imprisonment made me into a fool whose only intent is to get his will. She does not realize that all that has happened burdens me as much as it burdens her, and that I would give a lot for her support rather than this ridiculous bickering. Everybody needs someone to back them up from time to time. You know, as humans, we are not so different from animals as some try to make us believe. We are like wolves, and every pack needs a leader. Someone in front who is not afraid to make the hard calls. And this is who I am. I did not ask for it, but I will not fail. If my resolve weakens, the others will lose their courage, and I cannot let that happen. But that does not mean that I regret any of the decisions I have made. None of them. That's none of your concern, but I presume you have your assumptions.
Now, isn't this a surprise? The world's nearing its end, yet the prophet takes the time to pay me a visit. What do you need? It does what most injuries do. Hurts. But I'm a lot better, thanks for asking. Truth be told, just lying around here doing nothing's what's bothering me the most at the moment. Oh my, you make it sound so dramatic. I don't think this'll be the end, though. Say what you want about this place, but it'll be a long time before Korak's men break through. The apothecarius said I might even be able to help if I rest for just a few more hours. Just be careful, all right? And find the Numinos.
Walk blessed.
Pathlessness, wherever
You
look.
really did it, didn't you?
Where is this
Travel the
supposed to
memories
lead?
of a Pyrene. I know, but I didn't think that was even possible. The word of the dead certainly is fascinating.
Thou art my light.
And so the
just don't see
circle
the fucking
closes,
point.
as it does for these 3 virtuous souls we are mourning today. But fear not, for they gave their life for a just cause, for the greater good, and will thus be walking on the endless paths forever, together with our Lord Malthus. Magistra Jailer, keeper of the 3rd sigil and master of the archives. Stalwyn Willowsong, keeper of the 1st sigil, and Legium Lightman, novice. May the Lord receive your souls today and grant you that you may walk the paths for eternity.
Oh, just shut up, won't you? As if you believe any of this yourself.
Keeper, you...
Malthus is dead. Our Lord is dead. And if even he could not last through the ages, how is he supposed to lead us along the eternal paths? A dead god?
Take her away.
Yes, just go on. Close your eyes and pretend that none of this is happening. It's what you've always been good at. The cleansing is our punishment, don't you see? The punishment because we failed the Lightborn. That we let someone kill them. And the High Ones will take us all. Do you hear me? They will take us all.
Keep going.
But,
Keep going!
Magistra Jailer, Keeper of the Third Sigil and Master of the Archives, Stalwyn Willowsong, Keeper of the First Sigil, and Legium Lightman Novice, may the Lord receive your souls today and grant you that you may walk the paths for eternity.
Yes?
Some shifts never end.
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves.
Walk blessed.
They always go too easy on the scum. My sir? Huh? Can I help you?
Monsieur?
Huh? Can I help you?
well, comes a point, and you just have to live with it. Yes?
Saira, you came. Thanks. I thought it was fitting for the occasion. Impressive, isn't it? From here it all seems so peaceful. As if there'd be no enemy army just in front of our gates. As if all this, the cycle, the high ones, the Naramis, were just imagination. And I fear your pessimistic side is right this time. I wanted... Do you want to hear something funny? The two of us, even though we haven't known each other for that long, we've been through a lot. We underwent the Sigil's trial, we fought our way through ancient ruins, and we found the forgotten home of the Star People. I'd say we make for quite an unusual couple, right? But still, what I'd like to ask of you tonight, I'm ashamed to. It seems so out of place, so mundane. Just follow me. I'll tell you when we get there.
Yeah. It's not as if I didn't tell them that already.
Go too easy on this gun. Can I help you?
Huh? Can I help you?
Watch yourself. The streets aren't safe this time of the day.
The Nighthawks. They're a small minstrel group from Duneville, and they came here to play despite the situation. I guess I always have. I've just never permitted myself to enjoy it before. It seemed so useless. But then I realized there's a point where you've done everything you can. And be honest, Sierra, we don't know what the next few days or even hours will bring us. We could die. And if that should happen, I want to be able to say, yes, Kalia, you gave your life for something meaningful. You pursued your ideals until the very end. But despite all that, you didn't forget to just let go from time to time. You didn't forget to live or to love. You may, and it means a lot to me. So, Saira, let's dance together. For tonight, let's just forget about everything else. The high ones, the cleansing, all the things we've had to see. Screw it.
Well, that's just how he is. Always just
It's fine vintage.
Oh well.
The best wine in all of Enderal. Come, give it a try. The best. Wine in all of Enderal. Give it a try.
But that's how it is. Life is what you make of it.
The best wine in all of Enderal.
Life, this is.
Come, give it a try.
Hard life.
Well, that's just how it is. Always talking.
Fine vintage.
Small minds, all of them. As if they knew anything about art.
The light fades away.
What?
Malphas's blessings.
Potatoes, garlic, rabbit.
Saira, it's good to see you. So, are you ready? The Grandmaster said by tonight Sharim should have deciphered the old maps. Alright then, let's wait until nightfall. Go on ahead, I'll follow.
It's just madness, all of it.
Prophet, there's good news. We were able to decipher the Starling's maps, and we now know where to find the City of 1,000 Floods. Sharon was just about to explain. Sharon? Prophet.
Yes. I suppose you already know that Vin hasn't always been like it is now. In the time of the Pyreans, it was one big continent, which they called Pangora. Only the Starfall in the era of Azateron's madness split it apart. In other words, the Pyreans dominated the entire world as it was back then. It was a world empire. However, until recently, we always thought that the Empire's capital, the City of 1,000 Floods, was situated somewhere near where Kira is today. We were wrong about that. It was here, in Enderal.
Here?
Here, beneath our feet, to be precise.
Under Ark?
Yes. We don't know whether it was a coincidence that Malfa's vassals set the foundation of Ark here, out of all the places they could have. But they did. The heart of the Pyrean Empire was here, right where we stand. Only it's buried now. Hardly.
Sadly, the Order never cared much for archaeology. We considered it a useless endeavor. And even if there had been private undertakings, the dangers such an expedition posed, let alone its costs, would have scared off most investors.
But still, you're right. If the Order would have bothered, we could have saved ourselves a lot of trouble. However, it doesn't matter now. What matters is we now know where the last cleansing took place, and that it's somewhere we can reach. True, but there might be another way. Do you know the myth of the Black Guardian? The Endralians believe that there is some kind of demon deep down below the surface, and that you can even hear him scream if you just listen carefully. Rubbish, of course, but I think that these screams are the sound of wind. And if there's wind...
There are tunnels. So are you suggesting that the Undercity's cavern reaches that deep? Into the City of Floods?
Into what is left of it. All we need to do is find an entrance point that can lead us down.
Then we leave without further delay. There's no point in leading an army down there, so the four of us will go alone. Prophet, speak to the Archmagister and tell him to give you the word of the dead and the container for the Numinos. We will need both. He's at the beacon.
Shouldn't we at least think this through before we go?
Ready your equipment. We'll meet at the gate to the Undercity.
A machine that can banish these High Ones. The mysteries of this world are endless, aren't they?
Aren't you... never mind. How can I help you? He was. But he went to get something. Why don't you wait until he comes back?
I have to admit that it's a great honor to finally meet you in person. You know, when all this started, when the Grand Master exalted you, I thought it was a sin, granting an outlander what we have to fight so hard for. But now... Phew! I think Malphas, or whoever sent you, that he did. We owe you a lot. Really. Oh, don't thank me. Say... may I ask you something? The beacon. Do you really think it'll work? I mean, I'm just a novice, but... if it can really banish the High Ones, how come the Pyreans couldn't save themselves? I just don't understand. You know, I lost someone not too long ago. It was the Naramis, under the command of that butcher Korik. My family has a small farm near the coast, and when the first of the Naramis ships landed, I immediately rowed to them, to get them into the city, into safety. I'm sorry. This isn't easy. Our farm. It's on a small cliff near the farmer's coast. Just a few miles from Ark. I already had a bad feeling when I set out. And then I saw the smoke. And then there was that smell. And... the smell of burnt meat. It was everywhere. I rode faster and faster, and then, when I got to the house, I saw that it was on fire, and that someone had put up 3 crosses, and they were burning too. My mother, my father, and my sister, they were still alive, you know? And I just stood there, and there was nothing I could do. Do you understand? Nothing. And it doesn't matter how I try to look at it. It all amounts to one thing. I was too weak. I was too late, and I was too weak. That wouldn't have happened to you, would it? You would have done something. You would have saved them. Just as you'll save us. If I could just be more like you, then Your flesh. Yes, that's it. All I need is a piece of your flesh. And nothing like that will ever happen again. Why? Is that so hard to understand? I don't want much, just a small piece of it. But you just don't want to share, isn't that it? You want it all for yourself. Because you're vain. And in all your damn vanity, you don't even see the futility of the whole thing. The beacon won't burn. It never will. Thousands have tried it before you. Thousands who are as arrogant as you are. And they all failed.
Because the light will burn you. It will devour you. Until there's nothing left of it. Nothing but burnt flesh.
Nice and crisp. You're familiar with that, aren't you?
Prophet.
By Malphas, we need to stop them.
the name of the sun. They were possessed. How is that possible? I thought the sigil stone protects us. Oh, of course. Wait. Oh, the damage is within acceptable limits. Nothing you shouldn't be able to repair. But wait, what is that noise? Oh, by the righteous path. I think you should see this.
What in blazes happened here? And what is that noise?
The Naramis. They are in the city. Their entire army.
What? No. This is impossible. This is impossible! And this? What's the meaning of this bloodbath?
I don't know, Grandmaster. The High Ones somehow were able to possess the Keepers here. They tried to destroy the beacon, kill the Prodigy.
What? But the stone, we...
Grandmaster, you have to see this.
What? That the Naramis are in the city? I know that already.
No, we know how they did it. The true Chessa betrayed us.
Nonsense.
It's the truth. She and almost a third of the Keepers followed Bartar's example. Come, you should hear it for yourself. I ordered that the temple gates be closed right away and positioned archers on the battlements. At least for now, none of these Naramis bastards will enter the temple. There. She survived it. Open your eyes, traitor.
What? Hi, Grandmaster. I am so sorry. It shouldn't have happened like that. Oh, my mouth is... What have I done?
Tell us what happened.
Of course, Grandmaster. I will. The Truchessa, she contacted Korak and asked for...
Relax. She's bleeding to death, Grandmaster. We need to get her into the curarium.
We will, once we're done. Continue. The Truchessa arranged a meeting with Korak. What did she want from him?
A truce. She offered him the city. If he would promise not to harm anyone. She had this stone. You know, this sigil stone that protects us Keepers from the High Ones. Korak, he agreed. But once the gates were open, he...
Killed everyone.
Yes, the Truchessa, he just... Even though she kept her end of the bargain. Then they swarmed into the city and... Oh, by Malphas, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Take her to the curarium.
Yes, of course, Grandmaster. Lirum, Yetta, bring me a stretcher.
Wait. You have to forgive me. I mean, we only wanted the best. You have to believe me. Please don't let me die as a pathless. Please.
I forgive you. Now go.
Yes, of course, Grandmaster.
What are your orders, Grandmaster? We aren't many, but if we use cunning, we might be able to drive them back out of...
We will not. We are no more than 6 up here, and the Naramis are thousands. And both our black powder and our boiling oil are in the barracks.
Then it's over. We've lost.
What? No! Nothing is over. They can't be that far into the city yet. We only have to drive them out of the gates and then...
And how exactly are you planning to do that? By loading the cannons with sugar mint and shooting balls of herbs at the Neramis? Great idea, really.
You sodding.
Quiet! Narajil and Sharim are right, Commander. Ark is lost. But our war against the High Ones isn't. The beacon still stands, and it will continue to do so as long as we hold the temple. We've lost the battle, yes. Not the war. All we need is the Numenors, and then the beacon will be lit.
And what then? I don't think Korek will withdraw once we've destroyed his vision of this ascent.
Correct, he won't. Which is why we will surrender.
What?
It is the only way. As I said to the Chichesa before, this war is about more than just us. If we choose to give up now, or if we choose to fight and die down there, Korek will destroy the beacon either way and let the cleansing happen. We will prevent that at all costs. Which is why we will find the Numenors, light the beacon, and then surrender.
But Korek will kill us all.
Yes, he will. We will die, but there is no alternative. Korek isn't man enough to participate in the battle himself. So even if we were to break out in fight, all we would do is kill his delusional soldiers. And their deaths would be as pointless as this entire war. Once the High Ones are vanquished, we've done our duty. That's it.
But no! We are warriors, and true warriors fight. You've said that.
True warriors ask questions. Like the question, when does a battle for ideals become nothing more than a battle for vanity? Those soldiers down there, Commander, they are nothing more than butchers. But we are more than that. But I will not stop you. As soon as the beacon is lit, you're free to flee. But for now, you will hold this place at all costs while we search for the Numenors. Archmagister, do you have the word of the dead?
I do, yes. How do you plan to get into the Undercity from here? The entire city is swarming with Korek's soldiers.
Leave that to me. Commander Aaron, gather the remaining keepers and arcanists. I will address them. You all know what has happened. We were betrayed by our own brothers and sisters. As we speak, people are dying, slaughtered by the Neramis, who think we are their enemy. And I know what you are feeling right now. Anger. Anger aimed at those in our ranks who did this to us. But you're wrong. Despite their deed, they wanted to protect us, to fulfill their holy duty. And the same applies to Korek and his soldiers. Yes, they are deluded. Yes, they have committed crimes past redemption, but they, too, only did what they thought was right. If there is someone to blame in all this, it's the High Ones, and no one else. They, brothers and sisters, they are the ones responsible. They have no mind, no compassion, no soul, and their only reason for existing is to destroy. They are cowards who act out of the shadows and play us against each other like puppets on strings. And right now, they think they have won. They think they can defeat us. But they will fail, because we are still here. We have the beacon, the only thing capable of stopping all this madness, and that is exactly what we're going to do. After that, you're free to go. Flee, fight, do whatever you think is best. I myself will surrender, because every drop of blood spilled after we have done our duty and destroyed the High Ones is useless. And even if the Neramis kill me, my death will be a sign. A sign that people like Koarek will never understand. Hatred breeds hatred. This is what history has taught us. And this is what makes the High Ones strong. Stand by me when the time comes, or go. But until then, fight. Follow me. We will talk in the Emporium.
The prodigy, huh? Apparently we owe you for the shards of this sigil stone. I didn't think I would ever say this, but thank you.
And there she goes. There is another way. I suppose you all... And maybe... There is a... Probably. I will make it short. It would have been a knockdown. After that, there is a way in... And bring your bill. Prepare yourself. There is another way.
Oh, well.
Hello.
I can't believe Sigil Bearer Bartar betrayed us. Not him.
Saira. No, and so unnecessary. Rampaging through the streets, slaughtering innocents, yet they still think they're doing the right thing. Sad, isn't it? Anyway, no point in worrying about it now, I guess. What did he say? How is he planning to get us down into the Undercity? So a system designed for genocide turns out to be our path to salvation. If fate has anything, it is a sense of humor. Anyway, there is one thing I wanted to ask you before we set out. If things happen as Aranthiel thinks they will you surrender to Quarek? Yes, especially with all that. I'm glad you see it that way. Let's wait and see what happens. Maybe there will be a way to flee through the tunnels once we've lit the beacon. There has to be. I'll go meet up with Sharim and the Grandmaster. I'll see you there.
Where's your flesh? You don't have any flesh! Monster!
Poison gas. There's one thing the Holy Order has always been. It's creative. My respect for that, Arithiel.
They're here. One moment.
Interesting. If I may ask, Grandmaster, how does that work?
It's a sigil, and it can only be opened by one bearing the Grandmaster's sword. Follow me. In case you were wondering, those 3 water gates up there contain the Starling machinery which releases the poison gas. As long as we do not open them, we can pass safely.
Poison gas tunnels. If there's one thing the Holy Order has always been, it's creative. My respect for that, Arithiel.
They're here. One moment.
Interesting. If I may ask, Grandmaster, how does that work?
It's a sigil, and it can only be opened by one bearing the Grandmaster's sword. Follow me.
Enemies, get ready. That was all of them.
In case you were wondering, those 3 water gates up there contain the Starling machinery which releases the poison gas. As long as we do not open them, we can pass safely through tunnels.
So, this tunnel system, how many exit points does it have? I assume that a single exit into the Undercity wouldn't have sufficed to poison it all by itself, would it?
No. There are a total of 8 exits, and we will be using the one that leads into the Crow district. According to Maragil, we should be able to find a suitable entrance point into the old depths from there. Lead the way, Prophet. You know this area better than we do. This is the place. Sharim?
Yes, take over.
Impressive.
Entropy.
Lead the way, Prophet. You know what we are looking for.
Saira, you look pale. It was the echo again, wasn't it? Stronger.
That might be because we're getting closer to where the last cleansing happened. If we just follow the visions, they might lead us directly to the temple, and thus to their version of the beacon.
Prepare yourself.
The High Ones. Prevent us from reaching the What a waste of time.
Enemies, get ready.
Focus on me. Focus.
The City of 1,000 Floods. The name of the sun. It's so beautiful.
And dangerous. Come, we need to get down there.
He has betrayed us! Jakal opened the gates and now they're killing everyone!
The temple! Retreat to the temple!
You have a choice, and you've chosen ignorance. Now pay the price.
What did you see? What? Prophet.
In other words, all that we have done so far is almost identical to how things went to the Pyreans. We are still part of the pattern.
But does that mean everything we have achieved hasn't made any difference at all? That we found the black stars, the ancient starlings?
All that the Prophet has seen is that someone betrayed the Pyreans too, and that this jackal was deluded as this fool Korek. We knew that already. We are the first to be so close to lighting the beacon. I can feel it. You will not stop us! Never!
Oh.
Yes.
By Malphas, all these corpses. How can they still be here? They should have decayed long ago.
Good question. Is it important? Is it important? It looks like magic to me. Look at how gray their skin is. Like ashes.
Cleansing. It must have done this to them. What we see here, it must have been their final moments before the humans devoured them.
I fear you're right. They must have tried to get into the temple, into safety. In vain. This is tragic.
Yes, very tragic. Are you done?
Of course.
Impressive.
I suppose we have company.
You are impressive, you know that? Everything around you is falling apart, yet you refuse to give up. Tell us, Saranthia, what makes you keep going?
Are you trying to manipulate me? If so, save your breath and fight instead.
Oh my, so grim. How nice it would be if everything could just be killed, wouldn't it? Even the past. Tell us, do your companions know the truth about you? All of it?
Let's go. This is pointless.
Pointless? You wound us. All we want is to help them understand. Just look at them. How clueless they are.
Are you deaf? Shut up. Your games don't work on me.
You'll take that as a no.
But there has to be a way.
Not here in Inodan, Tilo. We could hide the pregnancy, but a living child? A lightborn and a mortal. It's blasphemy. As ridiculous as that may sound coming from my mouth. You could flee with him, you know. Take him somewhere where no one will find you.
What? Erlander, that... no. They would recognize us for who we are.
Not if we took precautions. But even if they did, no one would dare oppose a Lightborn. No one. Tealord, please, don't let him grow up without a father. He will be special, I can feel it, and he will need you.
What is this? But... no, I can't. The Council, Erlander. You know what they said about me. They want to do it.
You mean the exaltation? I can't believe you just said that. This is about a child, Tealor. Our child.
Yes, our child. Why don't you tell me another 1,000 times? I have obligations.
Stop this!
Damn it. And you should know that better than anyone else. You know how hard I've worked to get here, Erlander. And now you want me to give it all up? For this thing?
Teal, how? I just don't know what to say. Being a seraph, it's a title by the name of the sun. A title. How can that possibly be more important to you than... oh, I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
Of course you can't. You've never known what it means to have to fight for something. We will give him away to one of your servants. It is better that way, for him and for us.
What would have happened if you had been there for your son, I wonder? Would he have ever started to blame the gods for this deep hatred lurking inside him? You made your son into what he became, and all because a promotion was more important to you than your own flesh and blood. And that is why you will fail here, don't you see? Because failing is what you do. As a soldier, as a protector of the gods, and as a father. You are a butcher, a loser, not the glorious savior you want people to remember you as. Admit it already.
We will see about that. Sharon, you and keep a cigar coming. You brothers fight in my side. What you're made of.
blocking the way.
The path is clear. Advance!
For the name of the sun that never Focus. Focus, Aaliyah. Focus.
Quickly now, to the gate.
Garage. It's locked. What do we do?
We will break it open. Do you see the ballista up there? Keep a Sakarish. You. Wait. Do you feel that?
Yes, the heat. Right next to it.
By the name of the sun.
Wait, he's moving.
Yes. Yes, that is good. Stay with us. You were hit by a piece of debris, but we are safe, at least for the moment. His attack brought down the entire facade, but it also cut him off from us. He will not be able to get inside here. The building came down on top of her. There was nothing we could do. I know how close you were. I'm sorry. Yes, and we will. But to do that, we need to find another way out of this place. So, no matter what else we do, we first have to go deeper into the temple. We finish this. That arrogant display of the High Ones was a bluff. They are afraid of us, and this puppet show out there was their last trump card. But they have failed. We're here, and we're close. All that matters now is that we summon the High One and take the Numinos from him. Then it is over. Thank the gods your injuries are only superficial. Just try to keep up.